In this video, I'm going to show how to create a gradebook. Okay, we mentioned in our announcement, we received an instructions, and now we are required to create e-quizzes. We need to deliver our lessons online following SOW, and then we can set e-quizzes for students, and we can set important is another progress test. Okay, we can set progress tests uh, to test students understanding. When we use the word progress test, students will be more um, serious when they come to answering your e-quiz. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do this gradebook. Okay, how to do the gradebooks. When we first launched in a few years back, gradebooks was available. After that, I think over the years we have been disabling many features. Some teachers may have turned it off. Uh, so after that, when I copy the courses for new year, new academic year, and those area has not been copied over. Okay, how to do a gradebook? Okay, how to do a gradebook? If you cannot see a gradebook, okay, what you need to do is you can come to this add menu item and choose tooling. Select the type as, scroll down and choose my marks. Give it a name, my grades. Okay. If you put my grades, it shows the result. Okay, I think my grade is good enough. My grade book. Okay, my grade book. You see, okay. My grades got S or not? Doesn't matter. My grade book or grade book. Okay. Type is my marks. Set available to user and then submit. Now you can see there's a new link called my grade book. Now I'm putting my grade book at the second highest link. And this gradebook, usually when you click on it, you won't get anything because user as our role as a teacher, instructor, we do not have grades. Okay, so we can see. Okay, but if you use your preview user, you can actually have a look on your grade. All instructor cannot have a gradebook. Okay, that is one problem. So what we can do is, okay, this is the gradebook area. We need to configure it. We go to Grade Center and go to Full Grade Center. Okay, now in the Full Grade Center, I'm using this numeracy year 3 numeracy subjects, and you can see, oh, there are so many e-quizzes so far, and I think most e-quizzes you want to let the parents to see, unless those already on the previous term you want to disable, and those that are not related you would like to disable it. For example, total. Okay, the total is an automatic column that the computer will automatically create when you have any e-quiz. When you create any test, they will have a total. Sometimes you don't want to have this column. Okay, let's look at here. You can have any column information. Oh, this is hide from instructor view, but I need to remind is, if you hide it from instructor view means only teachers cannot see, but students still can see. Okay, let's look at how to manipulate, how to control There is something called row visibility. There is a column organization. Let's go to column organization first. Click on it. Okay. Now we can see these are some of the information we want to see. What is the name of the student? These are very important. Okay. For example, total marks. Here, if you click total marks, then you can actually have show a hide. You can hide selected column if you don't want to show it to the student. Okay, so you can see for this teacher teaching this classroom, you can see all these related to previous term already with hide. Okay. Then those starting from this term onwards showing to student. Okay, here you can see important is the marks. You have to properly control. You have to make sure you are showing the right things. All your e-quizzes supposed to have properly named. Look at here, I think is very good. Year 3, you can see they have proper name. So we know that when a student open their own gradebook, they will be able to see a week 20 e-quiz, how much they score. Okay, maximum in here they have a marks out of how many. Okay, so I click cancel. You can sorry, just forget. You can choose what to come first, what to go next. So for example, if you want to look at self-challenge, you want to put self-challenge at the end, you can drag it down so that self-challenge will be shown as a last column. Okay. So extra homework, do you want to put all these 7 extra homework at the back, or do you want to put them in front before your weekly e-quizzes? Okay, that is totally up to the teacher. So I am not going to change any setting here, except I just showed it as an example. I just drag the self-challenge term 2 down, and this is self-challenge for term 1. Fine. Now I click, if I don't want to save any changes, I click cancel. If I want to save the changes, I just click submit. Okay. Let's see what else. Column information. Okay, so column information. This is the point. This is the place you show whether this is going to show to the student or not. Show this column to student. If you click no, then the student will not be able to see, and is only able to see by the teacher. And why I show this column information is because if you choose, then you can choose 2 type of display. You can have 2 display at the same time. You can choose to show score, or you want to choose percentage. There is one thing good by showing percentage is, no matter how many marks you have in your e-quiz, it will show upon 100. It automatically convert for you. You can also choose to have 2 display. One is score, which is upon how many marks. Let's look at here, 15. And another display, secondary display, showing a percentage. So in this case, you have score, which you originally want the student to have, and then a percentage that is automatically converted by the system. Okay, so these are the 2 things you have to configure. Do you want to show the column to student or not? You come to here, you can edit column information. If you do not want to see it, you can also choose from here. Okay, you can see this one, hide from student, on and off. If you choose hide from student, that means student cannot view. If you choose hide from instructor, that means only instructor cannot view. Okay, that is for the e-quizzes that you created. Here is there is a total. Okay, let's have a look. What is this total doing? So you can see, total is an automatically calculate column. You can choose select column and categories. So I only want to calculate the total marks of all these e-quizzes. So I click this one, then I bring over, I want this one, I bring over, and of course I can select more than one holding down the shift key and bring over, and then the computer will automatically total for me in this total column. And one thing good is, when you use the total column, you don't have to show it as score, you can show it as percentage. So by having a total column that total all the e-quizzes in your particular academic term, you can see the percentage that a student score, which is a very useful column. And because this column is very useful, after you do all these selected column, certain column you do not want to total them, but certain column you want to total, you can actually adjust this. After that, you click submit, and the total, the column will change, change the percentage. After that, you need to go to column organization. Just now, okay, since total is always the final marks for everything, so you want to put the total marks at the bottom. Okay, you can bring it to the bottom. Here. Since the self-challenge is not really related, so you can put self-challenge second last for term 1, self-challenge term 2. You can see the marks is 100%, 100%. But why this is 700 over? Because we use score. Okay, how to turn this into a percentage? Let me repeat one more time. Let me submit this one. Okay, to turn it into a percentage, okay, since we move it to the back, total is now at the back. Okay, edit column information. Instead of score, you change to percentage. Submit. Okay, let's look at. You can see all change to percentage. So the percentage means how much the student get in all the e-quizzes you release so far. Okay, so for those who did very well, we can see some, but again, this percentage is only for those e-quizzes they answered. And you look at this guy, Amjad, I think he did not do all the e-quizzes, but he scored very high because those e-quizzes not answered will not be calculated. Okay, so in this case, this figure will show how serious when the student answer the e-quiz. Yes, so maybe for this one, uh, because one of the e-quiz you can see score 0, 0, then pull down the total marks. Overall, we can see this is not so good. This student not so good because only score 1 marks. Pull down the overall score. And if you configure this column, as I mentioned just now, which column you want to total, then you can actually control and you can see how serious is this student when they're answering your quiz. If you look at, oh, this student score very low, 30 over percent, then we have to identify why your student score so low in this particular column. Okay, and so I think here is one. Maybe this student 50 something, we have to understand that, oh, this is 0 marks. Is it purposely? So sometimes if you find that a student has done something, then you can go to attempt here. Okay, so you go to the attempt here. Okay, you can see how the student score. Okay, one thing is, let's see whether we can exit. Okay, let me exit. What if we want to the student to redo their work? So we can tell them this is totally unacceptable. We want the student to do again. You can choose the option exempt the marks, and then you inform the student go and redo again. Okay, here exempt the marks, and there should be one more. You see here, will marks detail. The first option, will marks detail. There is one option here called clear attempt. So you clear the attempt and inform the student to redo this e-quiz, week 27 quiz that you release. Ask them to redo again. Probably the student did not complete, suddenly have to go somewhere, so did not submit and score poorly in this attempt. Okay, so how to see the student? Just let me just repeat again. How to see how serious the student is? You have to go to this edit column information here. Tell the computer which column you want the total to calculate, and you only choose those e-quizzes you want the computer to calculate. Okay, select and bring it over. Select and bring it over, just to calculate those e-quizzes you want to measure. After that, you select submit and change this to percentage, so you have a total column that you can manage the student. Okay, so you can also post this message on your announcement here to tell the student that, okay, from now onwards you look at your total. Okay, it has to be at least how many marks. So anything that you score, if you change your marks into percentage, which is easier instead of 15, 14, quite confusing. If you change all this into a percentage form, yeah, instead of score, you change it to percentage, then it's easier for the parents to understand. Okay, there's nothing wrong for score. If you want to have two display, you can display another one as percentage. So in the gradebook itself, it will show a primary display of score followed by a secondary display of percentage. How many percent they score in that particular e-quiz. And sometimes if you set 10 marks, then the parents will not know what is the full marks. Okay, this will avoid, actually it will show how many over, let's look at this one, 15. So if the student could score 10 over 15, the computer actually shows score 10 over 15. Okay, but it is good you have another percentage to show the percentage. Let's say 10 over 15, they will be showing about 70, I think 70 something, 77, 76. Okay, that is the marks that the computer will show. Okay, this is the column management part, where you can configure whether to show a particular column to parents. You can configure this total, which is appear which appear in all gradebooks, and then you can arrange the order of this column by going to column organization. So in the gradebook itself, those visible items will show first. For example, in the gradebook of this class, it will show start with this until the bottom. Okay, show in this order. Okay, so let's see if I can show you this. I added a dummy student called Jack 1 2 3 4. Okay, my network is slow because the signal is weak from this corner of the room. Let's wait for a while, it's still loading. Just a bit slow, my signal level is only 1 bar. Okay, so let's come into here. My grip. Now you see, if you show score, they will show upon how many. Okay, so this is how we want the parents to go in. Okay, just now I just anyhow answer one of the e-quiz just to test. Oh, I score a full marks 15 over 15, and then my total marks criteria, since this is the first student, first e-quiz I attempt, and then I scored all correct, so the total is 100%, since I changed the percentage now. So this is called the gradebook. So if you want to have a dummy user, just send an email to me. So I create a dummy user for you. You can have a look on how these gradebooks look like. Okay. So again, just to show, if you are using this, even let's see if you use let's see previous user can have or not. Oh, okay, so previous user now can have, but previous user you need to remember one thing is that there is a setting here. Keep the previous user and all data must be selected in order to see your score. Okay, choose this option. So in the beginning, first time when you use a Blackboard, they will prompt out this message when you close the preview user after attempting an e-quiz. They will ask you whether you want to keep the score. And then the computer will recommend not to keep, but I recommend you to keep. So you can see your score, you can see how your gradebooks looks like when your student enter into the gradebook center. So I remember the first version of Blackboard we have, the time we have problem viewing this gradebook, but seems like preview user now can access to gradebook. Okay, okay. Now is that's it for the gradebook. If you have any question, please send me an email so that I will create a standard video for all teachers to see and when answering your question. Thank you.